Hey friends, welcome to Midweek, and thank you so much for joining with us tonight. I know that you know it is a beautiful day out there. I mean, it is just absolutely fantastic. And so I hope that you've taken every opportunity to just go out and be outside and enjoy the sunshine. And I hope that through this process that you just remember God's promises for you, that he loves you, that he's for you, and that, man, he sent his son to die for you. And so I hope that you remember this as you just go and embrace outside. I know I'm glowing like a butterfly, and I hope that you are too. And so as we go into tonight, as we have midweek tonight, I just want to tell you we're on our way to a new series. And tonight we're starting, it's called The Encounter. And what we're doing is we're talking about different people throughout the Bible that Jesus has encountered in the last few moments of his life, leading up to Easter Sunday, which is April 4th. So from here on out, every Wednesday, we're going to talk about a different encounter that Jesus had with someone else. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Last Supper. And so Jesus is at this moment, John 13, and he's having a last moment with his disciples. Jesus knows that his time is coming. His time's running out. Devil also knows that, which is why the text tells us the devil has already entered Judas and everything on the betrayal is already set in motion. And so Jesus is now sitting with his disciples, getting ready to have one more dinner together. And all of a sudden, Jesus does something that's just a little bit strange. He gets up, he walks over, and he starts to pour water into this big basin. And then he takes a towel and begins to wrap it around his waist and tie it. And he begins to wash the feet of his disciples. And so as he begins washing it, you just kind of see Peter kind of react. And in fact, this is what he says. In John 13, verse 6, he says this. He says, he came to Simon Peter, who said to them, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" And Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I'm doing, but later you'll understand." Let's talk about this for a second. The reason Peter is so baffled by this is because of the Jewish customs of that day. See, if I were to invite you over to my house, there's customary practices that we all do, right? We may do it differently, but nonetheless, we do these things because it's what we've been taught is hospitable to the people that become guests in our home. So you would come and you'd knock on the door or ring the doorbell. I would answer the door and I would welcome you. I would say something like, "Hey, can I take your coat?" You would offer it to me, and then you may, out of respect for my household, say, "Do you want me to kick my shoes off anywhere?" And I would invite you because I've got 3 crazy kids who run amok through our house, and I would say, "You're welcome to come in as you are. You can wear your shoes if you're comfortable that way, but here's where we put ours. If you'd like to put yours there, you're welcome to do so as well." And then out of respect for you, I'd ask you this question. Can I offer you a drink? We've got tons of milk, we've got water, and just for you, specifically for you, I would make lemonade. And I'm telling you, you want to drink my lemonade. And so I would offer you a drink. You say, "Of course I want your lemonade." So I give you lemonade, and the rest of the night we just enjoy the company of one another, and we serve you dinner, and we just have fun the rest of the night. That's customary practice for us being hospitable in our culture today. It was very similar back then. And so if you were invited to my house, and I was a Jewish man and I owned my house, I would invite you over for a dinner party. It was customary for me to have my servants at the door washing your feet unless you were the guest of honor. If you were the guest of honor in my house at my dinner party, then I, as the master of ceremonies, as the person who owns the house, it's my responsibility to come and show you respect by washing your feet because you were my guest of honor. And so when Jesus is approaching Peter and he says, "Listen, I'm going to wash your feet," and Pete says, "What are you talking about? No, you're not a guest of honor. I'm not a guest of honor in your life. You're a guest of honor in my life. If anyone's going to be washing feet, I'm going to be washing your feet." And Jesus says, "No." He goes, "You don't even understand what's about to happen." And he goes, "I'm going to go and I'm going to die on a cross. I'm going to be buried and then I'm going to rise again." And so what happens here is that I am going to wash you. And Peter says, he continues by saying, "Listen, if you're going to wash my feet, then wash my whole body." And Jesus says, "No, because you've already been bathed." And he's referencing baptism. He's saying, "Listen, you've already come into a relationship with me. You've already been baptized, which is going to remember the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. In fact, it's your opportunity for you to have your death, burial, and resurrection on a spiritual level." That's what baptism symbolizes. And so what Jesus says is, I don't need to wash you again because you've already been there. But hey, when your feet are dirty, that's all that need to be cleaned. And so Jesus has taken this to a super spiritual moment. And like he says, you don't understand this now, but you're about to. And then he takes it to another lesson. And he says this. Yeah, because Peter's still fighting him. He says, listen, unless I wash you, you have no part with me. That's Jesus talking about baptism. And then Lord, Simon Peter replied, not just my feet, but my hands and my head as well. Jesus answered, as a person needs a bath only to wash his feet. His whole body is clean, and you are clean, though not every one of you. He's talking about Judas. And then when he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. He says, do you understand what I've done for you? He asked them. You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should wash one another's feet. And what he's saying is, listen, I know that I'm the Son of God. I know that I've been your rabbi, your teacher. But guess what? I'm not just a guest in your world, but you are a guest of honor in mine. And so when you guys die, you're going to inherit everything that I am going to inherit. You are going to be a part of my family. You are my guest of honor. And so I am going to get down and wash your feet because I loved you that much. There, you should do likewise. Go and love people like I have loved you, treating everyone as if they are your personal guest of honor. You show love to everyone, not just your family or your immediate neighbors or your friends, but to everyone you come in contact with. You show them who Jesus Christ is by showing the love to everyone. Even the least of these, you show them the respect as if they were your guest of honor. And through that humility, I will exalt you. And there is a reward in heaven that is absolutely fantastic. And you see how Jesus has multiple lessons within this one story as he's encountering this last moment with his disciples and friends. Where we're about to go through this little series is going to be intense. And there's so many great things that Jesus tries to say and that the Bible just really explains as we come into a relationship with Jesus Christ. More is to come. And it is so much worth it that I couldn't even fathom trying to tell you otherwise. It is the best thing that you can ever do. And what we want for you is for you to just come in contact, for you to have your own encounter with Jesus Christ. And we're willing to step alongside you and help introduce you to the one man who can change everything about you and your life. And that's the man of Jesus. And so whose feet do you need to wash tonight? Who needs to be the guest of honor in your world? I don't know, but you do. And hopefully through that example that Jesus has set for his disciples, that he set for us, we can start leading people to the one man who changed everything. Friends, I hope you have a great week. I look forward to diving into this series with you, and I just can't wait to keep impacting on these different characters that Jesus encounters as we get closer to Easter. Have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the beautiful weather, and we'll see you next time.